Marijuana, a powerful excitement, produces unpredictable emotional results.
Now that he knows, now that the suffering is over.
Get up, get down, get up, get down, get up, get down. It's that sound. Get up, get down, break it down. Get up, get down, it's that sound. Get up, get down, break it down. Get up, get down. Get up, get down. It's that sound. Get up, get down. Get up, get down. It's that sound. Get up, get down. Get up, get down. Down, get down. Get up, get down. Get down, down, get down. Break it down. Get up, get down.
Hey everybody! Late night stream today. Sorry if anybody was trying to be here at 5. I was away, but we're still streaming. still adding it to Friday. Maybe, who knows? Maybe this is a better time. But we're gonna continue working on our nasty, messed up Custodes. See if we can use some silly putty today. I want to finish the right pauldron. Maybe do the jewels a little bit, and then we can start thinking about the back. If we want that to be also in kind of the, well, I mean, it's all going to be in the nasty style, but it's going to be particularly hard because we've done a little bit of the back already with the gold filigree back here, but we're still going to have fun. So today I found the silly putty. So the first thing we're going to do is get that ready, because it's going to take a little bit, because I think this is a little old. I don't actually remember when I got this, but that's pretty good. I remember the big selling point of silly putty, when there were like commercials about it, was that you could put it on like newspaper, and oh look, you lift it up and it transfers onto the silly putty. Isn't that neat? That a neat feature? How often was that done? Like what? Who was doing that with silly putty as like a normal feature? Like the kids, like, oh man, I can't wait to do the funnies on my silly putty, the latest Garfield panel. Anyway, switch to the paint cam, and we will get started with that. So I have some specialty tools for this. And what I mean by that is I have a wooden dowel. So this is like from like a nail salon, or like a Sally's, if you have that wherever you are. So Sally's, Cosmoprof, wherever they sell like salon stuff, or friggin' Walmart or wherever, they probably have this too. But this is like a wooden dowel used for cuticles, like your nails. So you can get these, and it's helpful for getting into little crevice areas. At least the tip is. You can also have, sometimes they have like this wedge, which is also pretty helpful, but I wish this was a little thinner. If you don't have this, then obviously toothpicks would probably work pretty well, but I don't have them, so give this a try. So the key here is to try and get just enough of this to cover the painted pauldron area. I'm gonna see if I can kind of squeeze it into there. So let's do our best to cover the painted area. See if I can zoom in here. Focus up. There are probably other methods to do this, but I've found that silly putty works really well in keeping that paint away. And we'll see if that remains true. Oop, see, it already kind of came up there. We want it to be sticky, or else if we're brushing and then it comes up, that would be bad. Okay, really kind of push it into the corners as much as you can. Not on camera again. Classic moves. Don't be on camera. Man, this is hard. I think I used too much. Yeah, it's too much. Let's do about like a quarter of that. See if that helps. Yeah, this is gonna be better. But if I can get it to stick. I think that the problem that we're having here is that the paint is doing a pretty good job of being a non-sticky surface. I think we're gonna figure it out. There we go. And if we can't do it, then you know we're just gonna be careful, which is what we might end up being, what we might end up doing. Starting to get frustrated already. But that's what we're here for, folks. We're gonna learn together what works and what doesn't work. Because this plastic speed paint sheen that's on there is doing a really, really effective job of not allowing the putty to stick. Here, somebody can probably tell me why that is. Oh, I may have gotten it here. Perfect. Okay. Oh, we just gotta not lift it up. From the area where I want it. There we go. I hope that's enough. Stop the gold from kind of getting through here. You know what? Forget it. We're gonna be extra careful. I wanted to be cool and use Silly Putty, but I guess this surface was a little too small. But that's how you would do it. That's how you. That's if you know if you get it to work, that's how it would work. I promise. I've done it before, but not on this curved, smooth, now plasticine surface. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make that warm brown again, and we're going to carefully apply it to Cauldron. So if you remember that combo, it was Mournfang brown and black. Sticky paint cam. Some of that on the palette. Plenty. Palette cam. So drop of Mournfang brown and black to get to that warm dark brown. That's the undertone of the armor's gold. This is how I like to mix them, not directly together, because sometimes you get the ratios wrong. Which is okay, we haven't put it on anything, but this is kind of the method that I like to use, is the pull to the center. Then we mix. A little more brown. See, that's good. Doesn't need to be any darker than that. Just a little bit of a dark. Oh, he's a little darker. There we go. That's better. So just a dark enough brown. It's going to be plenty for this little surface. So okay. Get back zoomed in. Focused up. We're going to do our best to not hit that beautiful red that we did before. Because that will be a hell of a lot harder to fix than some of the other stuff. It's not black. It's tinted. It's got just the right highlights that a lot of people seem to like. So I don't want to mess it up. But if we do, who cares? Remember what I said. You can always fib and say like, oh, that was supposed to be that way. It's meant to be bad. You're just not interpreting it right. Okay. So here's the warm brown. Doesn't need to be perfect, doesn't need to be 100% even coat, because remember we're putting that gold over. Especially if we're being careful not to hit that red. It's just an undertone. So that the gold has that brown weathered tint that we've got on the other areas of the model. There we go. Have to kind of constantly be checking that I'm in focus because I moved the distance a lot. I've also realized that I did miss some of the red right here, but we can come back and fix that. That just requires just a little dollop of red because it's not a highlighted area. It just needs to be tinted red. Okay, we're doing pretty good. No messing up so far. Probably shouldn't say that. Second I do, something's gonna happen. There we go. Almost done here. Getting that undertone. I think we're looking pretty good. Now, with the other area, specifically with this side, it was easy to dry brush the gold on. It's going to be more difficult over here. We're going to have to use a different technique. We're probably going to use, we might still use a dry brush, but it's going to be very, very sparing. I think we might actually go with the sponge method because we can be much, much more precise and use a tiny little sponge. Like that's probably definitely what we're going to do. Let's continue with the brown tinting on the underside. That is still a visible area. Man, the underside of these gauntlets turned out so good. No one will see that. It's just for me. Okay. Put there. If we can't get that. Doing some wacky positioning here. And for this particular pauldron, we're going to rely a lot more on a sepia wash to get that same kind of effect as this side on this side. Because again, it's going to be really difficult to kind of get that dry brush effect without hitting the red area that we did. So we're not going to attempt to mess that up. Get our gold ready. Still Retributor armor. Pallet. You really move this to a dropper. Funny. I think I have actually. Where did I put it? Oh, I did. Yeah. I did it eventually. Probably use this, but have the pot. That back. Okay. We're gonna start by attempting to do a little bit of dry brushing. Let's start with our damp sponge. It's not supposed to be damp enough to saturate the paint, but really just to activate it. Okay. And to retrieve it a little bit. Okay, let's try this. Trying to just catch the edges, see if this works. Being careful. As much as possible not to touch the red. And giving the illusion by using this thin coat method. It's a very brown gold. A little bit more on there. Center part. So we have a sort of flat dry brush here. Don't worry too much about the ball areas, because those are going to be jewels. So don't worry about overdoing them. Looks pretty good. A little bit more here. The way we're going to bring this out is when we do the edge highlighting with a pure gold to bring out that shine on the corners. That looks pretty good. And some more. Side here, being careful. I don't know how I'm doing it, but seem to be able to be super precise on stream. Lucky for me. Or at least precise enough. Trick the camera. Maybe it's a combination of like stage ability. Like you're better. Like I can do it with pressure, but when I'm totally unpressured, garbage. I think that's what it's called, stage ability. Maybe it's that same principle as like, oh, I'm a bad test taker. I can perform with no pressure, but once I'm tested, remember that? People who are bad test takers. I wonder if that was made up. Probably real, but I mean, it sounds like a made up thing. I was a bad test taker. Really meant I didn't pay attention. Okay. So a nice burnished brown gold. Very good. Matches the other side. That brown undertone does a lot for us here. We kept that character of the Pauldron without having to use a silly putty. I don't see any mistakes, which is fantastic. What a winner. Okay. Let's continue. We're gonna actually, just because we're here, we're going to apply that little bit of red in that small area that we missed, just so that I can stop looking at it. Doesn't require anything but that blood moon red right here. Let's do again. Tint that black to the correct hue. It does stand out. There we go. Okay. And while that's drying, we're actually going to make our little mixture of a sepia gold for the filigrees that we're going to work on next. So we're going to actually sort of redo some of these filigrees because they're not sepia enough, at least for my taste. So the way that we're going to do this is we're going to take that same little dollop of Retributor armor that we have, and we're going to add the strong skin tone that we used for the wash last time. Where did we put it? Not sepia tone. Strong skin tone. Even darker than sepia. Little dollop. First, we'll actually wash the area that we did already. Just to establish the shadows really quickly, because we won't need to worry about those again. And you can be pretty aggressive with the wash, because remember, we want it to be dirty. We want it to be dirty, we want it to be dark. Obviously, if it is just too much, like you're like, whoa, can't even see, you can fix it by taking your brush, making it a little bit damp, and then going back and kind of soaking it up. The reason we want it to be damp is the water tension, the surface tension, will make the wash get sucked up into the water droplet that's in your brush. If it was dry, it would just not do anything. It doesn't absorb it like a sponge. The only way to make it like a sponge is to have it a little bit wet. Art hacks. Not really. Okay. We didn't end up using the sponge method, but that's okay. Yeah, that looks nice and dark. Matching that side. Very good. Okay. Let's actually do a little bit more washing. I'm gonna put some washing on. I haven't done it yet for this Aquila. Again, be aggressive. Gonna do our absolute best to tint the filigree. Be careful here because you did such a good job on the outside. Just trying to make it look brown. Same for here. Using the surface tension to keep it in the areas where you want it, not anywhere else if you can. Thankfully, some of this area is still that black where you can fix it. Go. Give it that little bit of tint. Perfect. Yep. He's looking well. Start mixing this gold with a big brush. Drop it? No, I didn't. There it is. Mixing up the strong skin tone, the Retributor armor to get a dark brown, nasty, burnished looking gold. Or at least darker than the regular gold. Darken up. Okay. And that is going to go on the head. I'm going to start trying to do a little bit more of the detail work up here on the forehead. This is such a pronounced area. Remember what I said before? Try and just dab the area on this filigree. Don't try and do like perfect strokes because you'll end up hitting areas that you don't want to, which you'll see me do. I'll give you an example of what hitting an area that you don't want to looks like for demonstration. Not because I don't have a steady hand. Go. That dark sepia gold is working out really well. And as my brush is getting drier, it's allowing it to become flatter. And I can have a little bit more control over what I'm doing here. Because the more wet the brush, the more surface tension it lacks. So it's more liable to get in the areas that you don't want it to be. I know dry didn't sound intuitive, but it is still an adhesive pigment. So if you touch it to something, it's gonna stick, but you just have to go over it a couple more times. There we go. Let me do this little forehead notch here. We'll get a little more paint actually for that. Okay. This is what's actually going to really accentuate those raised filigrees, because it's going to be hard to see with the style that we've chosen. Like, you can see it from here a little bit, mostly when you turn from the sides, but when the top portion gets done, because it matches those, it makes them stand out. It's within the same canvas area. You have a few different focal points on a model like this. The same idea is if you have two like things, they stand out versus one like thing in a picture. There we go. No new viewers yet on the later stream. I think we just need to continue to grow in other areas before we start getting some viewers. Need to join more Discords or something. Do better at advertising. I wonder if I should make a poll. What time? Then again, it's still very early. This is like my second week of streaming. Second week stream. Why don't I have 10 million followers? Relax. There we go. So see, now that we have that forehead portion done, it accentuates that filigree. It makes it stand out more. We can do a little bit more on it now that it's drier. We're not oversaturating. Thankfully, the sides of the filigree are still in black areas. So if you need to fix it, you can. Should learn how to talk more. But it's hard to talk and paint at the same time. Oh, it's probably a developing skill. I'll get there eventually. Need more topics. I should be talking about the lore or something, the most recent lore, like the Terminus Decree. What the hell is that? Grey Knights? Come on. Relax, GW. I think everybody has a pretty right opinion about it right now, in that it's complete ass. Why would you give away the mystery? It was better as a mystery. It's like people can't stand not knowing, or these stupid new writers are like, we gotta think of something to add to put my mark. I want to put my mark on this story, and you know what it is? I thought of the Terminus Decree. In fact, I think that's exactly what it is. It seems like someone's ego going crazy, and they decided, I'm gonna make my what I think would be cool, and they haven't read anything else. At least that's what it feels like, based on reading that thing, because it's complete garbage. 1,000 Grey Knights versus the 10,000 Custodes, and they have the same goal. The Custodes want the Emperor on the Golden Throne. Why would they fight? It doesn't make any sense. Come on. Do a little research. Read something before you write that crap. Anyway. Also, a Grey Knight could never beat a Custodes. Unless they bullshit that too. Like they say, like, oh, actually, the Grey Knights were hiding their true power level the whole time, and they're actually better than the Custodes, which wouldn't make any sense. Any sense at all. But I don't own the company. I still like the setting. I feel like I'm that one guy who forgave the killer in court. It's like, you've made it difficult to do the right thing, but you are forgiven, sir. This is us saying this to GW, trying to continue to be fans. Okay, we're doing the front little filigrees here. Oh my gosh, this is tough. Holding my breath, but I have to keep talking. Little dot. Just enough to catch the light. Okay. On this side. Forgive the angle. Using the flat of the brush, just a dab. Trying not to hit the glove. Gotta go full shrimp hand. Do certain areas like that. I think we got it. At least enough to trick the eye. One more area that we can hit. And that's the top of this little filigree. On camera, if you please. There we go. Better. Also hit this part. I don't know that this is actually part of it, but it's like the inside of the lip. I like to do it. I think it's a nice touch. He's getting there, folks. He's really getting there. Do a couple more things. Oh, we still have a lot to go, actually, but do a little bit more. Maybe even darker with the sepia gold, because I want to do the tops of these gloves. That would be a nice. The Aquilas on the tops of the gloves is what I'm talking about. Here we go. More brown gold. Not too wet. A little too wet. There we go. And also the filigree. Actually, we'll do the filigree right here because I just saw it in my sight line. Be very careful. Okay. By the way, can you see how we tinted that black area to be a little bit red? It's pretty hard to see, but we can see it from here. Got a hue of red, and adding this gold will actually accentuate it more, because the gold is brown gold, which means it has red in it. Color theory. We love color theory. Folks, this is the learning stream. We're here to learn. Filigree looks pretty good. There we go. Nice burnished gold custodian. Looking pretty good so far. Still some areas we can hit. Let's get some detail in here. Let's do the sides of these pauldrons. Not hitting the cape. Beautiful cape that we did. Not coming up on the sides. Oh, we didn't do it. Okay. Again, you don't have to be perfect. Kind of letting a little bit of the color underneath come through is part of this style. The cheating style. That's what I should call this, is the cheating style. Like, oh, it's gonna be bad on purpose. It's gonna look nasty on purpose. It's the perfect style for streaming. Because you're gonna notice, like, oh, the color's coming up through that one little area. I wonder if it was on purpose, and I can quickly let, yes, it was. Most definitely. You know what? I'm glad that you know what? You're a real art connoisseur for noticing that style. Did you go to upstairs Hollywood medical art school like I did? No? That's a Dr. Nick reference. Simpsons seasons 1 through 8. The only watchable seasons. Some people go all the way to season 12. And you know what? They can sit at the Thanksgiving table, but we're gonna be less friendly to them. They're not invited to the post-Thanksgiving football game, or really the pre-Thanksgiving football game. I don't watch football anyway. I don't watch sports. Never have. Can we just cut out there? Hope not. Hope I'm still recording. Okay. Almost done with the side pauldrons here. Looking good. No mess up so far. Adding the dots. Remember, this guy is all about this is the it's bad on purpose guy, but it's also the implications guy. So, and what I mean by that is, like, there's tiny little dots of gold on that pauldron. You wouldn't notice unless you looked really close. But if the light catches the glint and somebody sees it, it looks all that much better. It's not necessary though, so don't be too upset if you can't get that effect. Okay. So things that we can do next. Things that we can do next. We did a good job on the weapon yesterday. Oh, we need to fix this hair. That's what we needed to do. The hair is like black at the end, which is not what we were looking for. And how are we going to fix that? White. And some stipple work. And that blood red again. Okay. Get our dry brush ready. Sponge ready. Testing. Coverage, that's still too much. Keep going till it's not. There you go. And I want just the kind of tops of the hair there. Those are going to be the most red. While leaving a lot of area for it to still be dark in the recesses. Give him some sick highlights. There we go. To see how that's got a lot of area to be dark. Okay. So see that? That's what we're looking for. And then watch the magic. Slop that right on there. And this is how we fixed that when we got the gold on it originally, if you remember. There we go. Nice fixed hair. Okay. Let's do a couple more quality of life stuff here just to kind of give it some finishing. We're not done with this model. What I mean by finishing is like finishing for like the way that it looks today. So one big area is the central jewel, and it does need a gold undercoat because the edges of the jewel, it has a gold setting, that brown gold setting. That is going to be a nice dark jewel. I'll show you guys how to do jewels on the next one. Jewels are fun. They're very colorful. And it's very easy to do. A lot of people like assume that the jewels are one of the most difficult areas. It's really not. One of the most fun and the easiest effect to accomplish. And if you do it right, it's really, really effective. Give a little bit more coats to that filigree. I bet my voice sounds really good when I do that. Like, sounds gross. Go. Get a close-in shot of that guy. Boom. So today, we did this side pauldron. We've done the weapon. We did more of the detail. Fixed up the hair. Fixed up a lot of the little minor mistakes. but I'd say our guy is looking fantastic. Zoom out a little bit. Oh yeah, that is a worn, cool looking Custodes. Tomorrow, or actually no, next week, we're gonna do some jewels. We're gonna hit the middle. You know what? Actually, we're gonna do one last thing. I'm gonna do the abs. Do the dark brown abs. Because they're a pretty easy area to hit. And it'll look pretty neat. Especially after we put a wash in there, because it's got such deep recesses. Totally out of focus. But there we go. Black to fix the area that we messed up. Clean lines. Possible, especially on little areas where we're doing some high detail. How do you like it? Get a little bit of a spin shot here. This is our current state of our weathered, nasty Custodes Shadowkeeper. I think he's looking pretty good. We've still got some work to do. Lots of little detail stuff. Jewels, more filigree, the back of the head, the back of the model, the cape, the back of the body. We've got lots to do, but he's looking pretty good. The eyes are gonna pop. I'm gonna make those really bright, and I'm excited for the next couple of streams because we get to do some luminescent effects. I haven't quite decided what the eye color is going to be. It's probably going to be red, but we'll see. Thanks guys for tuning in. Late night stream today. I hope you liked it. Story time. How do we end this one? Let's see. Yeah, I can't think of anything good. Yeah, we'll just save that for next time. But anyway, hope you like it. We'll keep going on this guy.